Good morning and welcome back to my channel. My name is Brianna if you're new here, and I'm currently working as a professional figure skater on a cruise ship, which is Freedom of the Seas. Today is April 17th and it's a jam-packed day. I woke up around 5:45 this morning to get ready because I'm going on a shore excursion for the first time ever actually. I can't believe I've never done this before. So this morning I had to meet at 7:10 in the theater to help arrange the guests to get ready for their shore excursions. Now I have a little bit of time before I have to get off, like 15 minutes, and then I meet in the pier for my excursion. I'm currently backstage because my roommate's still sleeping and I didn't want to wake her up, but I did want to do a little explanation of what's going on today. We also have our opening shows as Cast 36 tonight. I should get back from my excursion around 1:30 and then I have warm-up ice around 4, I believe. So maybe I can fit in a nap midday because otherwise it's going to be a very long day for me. Regardless, I think it's going to be a very exciting day. So the shore excursion that I'm going on is called St. Maarten Small Group Island Exploration with Lunch. So yeah, we are in the port of St. Maarten today. I've been off in this port many times before, but in this excursion, I'll get to visit some places that I've never visited before. We also do get lunch, I think. I really can't believe I've never worked as a crew observer before to do a shore excursion, and I definitely want to do it more in the future again. This is the excursion I'm going on. The description says, this royal signature excursion delivers a hand-picked small group adventure that wows with its intimate tour size, regional culinary flavors, expert local guides, and renowned service. Embark on an exclusive small group shore excursion around the sunny island of St. Maarten. Travel by air-conditioned motor coach to local attractions like Simpson Bay Lagoon and Maho Beach, the photo-worthy spot where planes land and take off right above your head. I've actually never been to this beach before, but I've heard about it a lot, so excited to see that. Then we're going to pass through the lovely town of Marigot before arriving at the famous Orient Bay. I've also heard about this beach before, and I've heard it's absolutely gorgeous. This is also the last time for the current itinerary that we're going to be in St. Maarten because we have this cruise, one more cruise that's a bit shorter, and then we go to 3 and 4 day cruises to Nassau Coco Cay. So I really wanted to make the most of today, even though it is our opening night. I really booked my day up. But for now, I've got to get off the ship and meet for my shore excursion.
Main border between the two sides. You see mark 1648, that's when they signed the treaty, days where they signed the treaty between the two sides.
All right, warm-up's complete. It's 4:30 p.m. I'm gonna quickly do my show makeup and put my hair up into a bun for the show. We did return from the excursion a little later than expected, so I didn't get a nap in, but it's all right. I made myself a matcha for some nice calm energy, and I'm really excited to open with cast 36 tonight. Makeup's done, presets done, all ready to open the show now. Just have notes in about 5 minutes, so I'm gonna get in some warming up stretching and then notes, get my skates on, and perform the show. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to preset all my costumes, so every time I do it a little bit different, but this is actually the only place that I need to preset my costumes, as opposed to some shows where I'm in like 3 different places and having to bring costumes from each place. It's very easy for me on this ship, but I have to fit it all on one chair. So it looks a bit messy, but basically I layer from the last things I'm gonna wear all the way to the first things I'm gonna wear, so that I'm like pulling the pieces one by one and not disrupting everything else underneath. Two shows done. We're sweaty. Second opening with Akane. From utopia to freedom.
Congratulations, you are open.
Cheers. Baja, cheers. 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 Hello. I realized that I didn't tell you yesterday. It was day 6 of the cruise. Today is day 7. It is an 8-day cruise, and the next 2 days are sea days. I was really trying to make the most of the port days as much as I could with the install schedule and everything. But now that we've opened, we don't have rehearsals during the day. I don't actually start any work until 1:30 p.m. today, so I've just been using the morning to catch up on editing, I folded my laundry, I crossed some things off my to-do list. Nothing that exciting. I just came back from lunch and I'm still working on my coffee. I have all skates from 1:30 until 4, and then later tonight I'm spotlighting one of the production shows. But ultimately it's a pretty light day work-wise for me, so trying to get as much as I can done off my to-do list. I'm realizing we have a lot to catch up on. I went a little MIA once I broke my camera, and then I was in install at the same time as performing the shows and working with the current cast. My workload was pretty heavy for a while. Now that it's tapered off, it gives me more time to spend on my YouTube, which I'm really happy for. We only have one more longer cruise, and then we go to our 3 and 4 day cruises for the majority of the middle part of the contract. And then in the last month of my contract, I'll have longer cruises and different ports again. Another thing we have to catch up on, which is really exciting. This day one, I actually moved cabins. So when I first came on board, I moved in with someone who was already on board, not an ice skater, someone that works for Next Cruise. And she was great. She was a great roommate. But then when the previous ice cast left on this day one, I moved into one of their cabins with Akane, who, as you've seen, is here on Freedom with me as well. She was on Utopia, which was her first contract, and now she's here with me on Freedom, and we are roommates, which is really great because I did live with her for part of my contract on Utopia. And when you already know someone, you've already lived with them, it's very easy to adjust to living together again, rather than learning someone's like sleep schedule, what they like, what they don't like. And I really liked having her as a roommate, so I'm glad to be sharing a cabin with her again. And the exciting news is I think this is the best cabin I've ever had. Actually, no, I don't think, I know this is the best cabin I've ever had since I started working on cruise ships. 1, I have a porthole. 2, I have more storage space, and it is slightly bigger. When I moved in here, I realized I had so much more storage space than I'm used to having on a ship, which is a bit weird because I didn't know where I should put things or like where I should organize things. I'm used to always living in the same configuration of a cabin with the same amount of storage space and the same layout. It varies like very slightly, but most of the cabins I've stayed in are almost exactly the same. So I know where I keep things usually, but now that I have more storage space and more space in general, I just didn't know how to organize my stuff. So I still have to get into that. And then we want to get some cute decor for our cabin. And then maybe I'll do a cabin tour after that, if that's something that you're looking forward to. But yeah, love having a porthole, having natural light in the cabin to wake up to, or just during the day to know what's going on outside is a game changer. If I had a cabin like this every time, and I definitely won't. This is very rare that we have this sort of cabin. We kind of lucked out. We woke up super early to request it since it was one of the previous Icecast cabins. And yeah, it's just very rare for the Icecast to have a cabin like this. So I don't know that I ever will again. So I'm going to make the most of it. Also, I did want to give you an update on how the excursion went, since it was such a chaotic day. Once I came back from the excursion, I had around an hour to do my hair. We had an all skates meeting, and then I had warm up, then I did my makeup, then I ate a little something before the show, then we had shows, then we had champagne toast. It was just an ongoing day, and I didn't have time to check in with you. So I wanted to give you a little update on how I enjoyed the excursion. Like I said yesterday, it was my first excursion I had ever done, and I don't know why it's taking me this long. It seems like on this ship, they are way more open and wanting to have crew observers. Right now, our itinerary is really good. They have a lot of excursions going on in many of the different ports, so they need crew help to help with some of the excursions. Maybe that's why. I don't actually know. It seems like they're like almost requesting to have people to help, which is amazing because I had such a great experience and I want to do it again for sure. I think the excursion that I went on was a newer type of excursion that they're kind of trialing, like a smaller group experience. And I really enjoyed that it was a smaller group. We only had 8 people on our excursion. It made it more of like an intimate thing. We weren't waiting for people at each of the stops. I think we got to do more because there was less people as well. After we got on the shuttle, the tour guide, who was the driver, he was always filling us in on the different areas we were driving through. He was giving us some of the background and the history of the island, telling us about the population, how it's divided between the Dutch side and the French side. Some of it I knew previously, but he filled in a lot of the blanks, and I feel like I learned a lot while on the excursion, more so than if I would just take a taxi to one of the beaches myself. The first thing we did, we stopped at a lookout for photos, and it was a really beautiful view, but we stopped there only like 10 minutes, which is perfect amount of time. Then we went to Maho Beach, which is the very famous airplane beach. And I had seen photos of this before, but I hadn't actually ever been there myself, and I'm glad that I got to experience it. We were there for about 25 minutes, and in those 25 minutes, I think I experienced 4 planes land like right. Basically, the planes come right at you on the beach and they land on the other side of like a 2-lane road. So when they're passing over your head, they're so low down, so close. I don't think I've ever been that close to an airplane that's in the air ever. So that was a really cool once in a lifetime thing to see. I really enjoyed it. We were there for 25 minutes and then we got back on the bus. We went into the French side of St. Maarten, and this area we went to first was Marigot, which is the main sort of city area. They had a really cute shopping mall with a couple stores and then a lot of outdoor venues, and this is also where they have the ferries to Anguilla and somewhere else, maybe St. Barth's. I didn't know that St. Maarten was that close to St. Barth's, and the shuttle driver was telling us how expensive it is. I knew a lot of people vacationed there, but I didn't know it was like a luxury type vacation place. We were in the area of Marigot for another like 30 minutes, and then we drove to Orient Bay, which is a beautiful beach. It's kind of like a gated area with a lot of resorts inside, and we went to one of the resorts there and had lunch, and then we were there for about an hour and a half to enjoy the beach. They also had good Wi-Fi, I'm not complaining, and that was the last stop on the tour. And then we drove all the way back, which was about a 35 minute drive. I got back on board around 2:30, and then I prepped myself for warm-up. But ultimately, when I came back from the excursion, I was really busy all through the night with shows, and the opening actually went really good. It was good energy from all of the cast. I'd say the highlight of our opening night is just that we had really great crowds. It was day 6 of the cruise already, and we hadn't had an ice show yet, so everyone was really excited to see the ice show. Both shows were packed. The audience reaction was really great. We had like a full standing ovation in the second show, and then we had our champagne toast. I slept very well last night after such a long day. Glad I got to update you. Now I'm gonna finish my coffee, do some editing, and then go to All Skates at 1:30. p.m. I'm done with spotlights. It's been a really restful day. Despite having all skates and spotlighting, I haven't really done anything physical, which my body definitely needs the rest because it's been a crazy month with install and shows, and I'll take the day off. Tomorrow we have matinee shows. Warm-ups actually start around 10 a.m. so it's an early start. I'm gonna grab dinner now and head to bed pretty early so that I have energy for the shows tomorrow.